So welcome back. Now we will see EC2 connection. So when we launch an EC2, we need to connect it. So what are different ways of connecting to an EC2 connection? EC2 instance. So how the EC2 machine connection is done. So there are three types, which is RDP. As you know, remote desktop protocol will be there for your Windows based VMs, and there is SSH protocol for Linux based virtual machines. So if we are launching an Linux instance, then we'll go for SSH. The second is first is Windows based VM, which is RDP, and the third is bastion subnet for RDP SSH through the portal over secure socket layer. So SSL, it's directly you have to go through the portal, which is over the SSL. It's both for RDP and SSH. So in the image you can see there is a bastion host. It's a bastion security group, and this is connected to the private subnet security group. There is an internet gateway where all this portal is through the virtual private cloud. So what actually a bastion host is? A bastion host can be thought of a special purpose machine. So why we would consider a bastion host? So what happens is this bastion host is configured to work against attacks. So this machine will only contain a single application, which is a host, and it can be accessed via public network. Also, we can say it as a jump box. It is a very powerful server which provides a high level of security. Like, it will provide a high level of network security, since it is the only host that is granted permission to access the public network. So this bastion is for security. When you are launching instances, when you are working into a virtual environment, this bastion host comes into picture. The machine can be used by system administrator to connect to other instances of the service, which happens in infrastructure backing. So this host are accessed. Now, as we say, this host are accessed by the SSH or RDP protocols. After a connectivity which is remote, it is established with the bastion host. So it is allowing our SSH or RDP to log into the other instances that is within the private network or a subnet. Once the connection is done properly, when we configure it with the help of the security groups and the networks like ACLs, NACLs, this bastion host, as you can see, what it will do is it will behave like a bridge between your private instances and the internet, and then thus it will provide your instance it will prevent the attack like which are coming from outside. It will prevent that. So why and when the bastion host is needed? If a user is confused like whether we need a bastion host or not, so I say when you need a remote connection, like when you want a private instance of a service through a public internet, then the answer is yes, you go for bastion host. So this is how the snap is shown. This is how the picture looks. This is a bridge which is creating between a private subnet and your internet, and how the user is like using it safely. This is all over design. A bastion host is designed to work with a specific infrastructure which will contain only its unit, only a single application. That's the reason behind limiting usage for bastion host. So this is how the bastion subnet works, and this is how the EC2 machine connections are being done. Through for Windows we go for RDP, for Linux based virtual machines we go for SSH, and if we need a secured environment, a highly secured environment for your application, we go for bastion subnet, which is through a portal login through a secure socket layer for RDP as well as SSH.